Half my childhood home's fireplace room was consumed by my oversized Lego city, and I always imagined a living world of Lego people walking the streets and living their lives. Lego Star Wars the video game made that a reality and birthed the Lego subgenre through its defining idea of playing with a living Lego set. An immediate seemingly clunky aspect was the fixed camera, which almost certainly was used to limit the number of needed assets, but limitations helped build the subgenre's foundation. Real-life Lego sets were static structures played with and viewed from a fixed point. Full camera control with first or even third-person perspectives would have given the feeling that you were the Lego person, but the fixed camera made it that you were playing with your Lego set. It wasn't about Star Wars or telling the stories of the movies, it was about playing. From the new game button, you almost immediately start playing. No filler, no exposition dumps, no endless animations, just short cutscenes, visual humor, and no voice acting, all to invite an imaginative, childlike understanding of the movies to fill in the story details. Silly moments like how Obi-Wan couldn't open his saber have stuck with me for almost 20 years at this point. The silly grunts, simple cartoon graphics, and hilarious character noises perfectly played into the childlike wonder of a living Lego set. There were no unfunny, generic, wordy jokes. There was the little zoop sounds from young, tall Anakin popping through the hatches, relentlessly force-pushing the PK droid to death, making Yoda, R2-D2, and Jar Jar jump to the void just to hear their death sounds, lopping off Grievous bodyguard heads and C-3PO limbs, and watching him hobble around, plopping his head on the droid panel. It was the epitome of fun for the sake of fun. You could see the diner and exterior filled with new minikit builds and characters and constant fights for a feeling of progression, and the world building on itself as you made your way through the levels. There's the incredible sound design, carried by John's unforgettable score, iconic movie sound effects, endlessly funny death sounds, mixed in Lego building noises, the Jar Jars getting hit. The soundscape perfectly brings everything together.
Ruin of the Jedi.
Not every object was functional, and it never needed to be. Some objects, you just used the Force, and that was it. Some secrets were just for studs, some rooms existed as their own rewards. This one room always stood out in my mind, just a sunken floor and a few studs. It otherwise serves no purpose, but if it wasn't there, the game would feel less complete. Most levels had random things like this magnet that pulled droids, small seemingly out-of-place pieces like bikes, pizza, a hidden cup. These common pieces from other sets conveyed an amalgamation of a childhood's worth of collecting Lego. Extras like teacups and brushes made it look like you ran out of lightsaber and gun pieces, and got creative with your miscellaneous bin for the rest of the Lego people's weapons. The developers probably had these models lying around and used them to save money, but it perfectly brought to the game the familiar phenomenon of mixing together every kind of Lego piece. It wasn't even playing a video game, but playing in the eternal mind of childlike wonder. Completing the game was hardly even incentivized. Minikits and the stud meter existed, but only as relatively unimportant optional goals. There was no percentage completion. It was about playing for the sake of playing, just like real Lego. It didn't matter how many times you played, because an ending wasn't the point. An ending wasn't even a concept. Extras weren't essential upgrades to progression. The only ones that affect gameplay, invincibility and minikit detector, weren't necessary and existed as endgame failsafes. Extras were primarily expensive cosmetics, like silly mustaches or big wacky guns. They were their own rewards, well worth the hard-earned studs. The story, world, collectibles, those all added value, but they weren't the focus. It was always about play. So am I gonna kill myself for a minikit? Absolutely. Each minikit was impactful to grab, seamlessly sliding from the 3D environment into the UI with a satisfying pow. Watching the kits build themselves into that huge stud explosion, coloring space in sparkly blue studs. Every stud filling the meter to slowly grow the super kit, unlocking relatively cheap characters, simple puzzles like realizing droids can go through smoke when humans can't, finding hidden magic moments like the top of the mall fight, enemies like the Camino droids or the floating Jedi balls. Everything gave an otherworldly, childlike dream quality beyond comprehension, as if you were witnessing an impossibly rare event unique to your life. Unique characters like Jenko's hovering and fast running, the bug people flying at Mach 17, R2 hovering over ledges, Mace Windu's jump, Yoda the frog, his floaty chair that should have been in every game, General Grievous cosplaying a helicopter, the droids going Roger, the conch droid being the best character, the droideka shields. Playing with these different abilities was so much fun. Fighting was even fun, with a system of deflecting blaster bolts, Jedi super slams, enemies slowly backing away, stunning droids as R2, wacky puzzle-based boss fights. There were countless simple ways to make you feel smart. It wasn't a boundless system, with only so many places to walk to, limited distinctive characters, some arguably insufferable levels.
Shit. No. Why did I just...
Some shockingly short levels, not enough environments of actual LEGO pieces, and a rushed episode 2. But despite those flaws, the game cleanly held its identity. LEGO Star Wars defined a subgenre distinct from a contemporary swarm of samey collectathons. It was a new idea about playing with a living LEGO set through stories to later mix characters and levels with secret collectibles to find. That core idea, combined with the creative designs nurtured by limitations and a simple focus on fun, forged the definition of a LEGO game, and somehow turned what easily could have been shovelware slop into the special start of a long-running, childhood-defining series. 7 out of 10.